أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين سيدنا ونبينا وقائد مسيرتنا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا، واللعنة على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال الله تعالى في محكم كتابه الكريم وقوله الحق وهو أصدق الصادقين: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وتفقد الطير فقال ما لي لا أرى الهدهد أم كان من الغائبين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the most merciful. May the peace and the blessings of the Almighty Allah be with and amongst all the prophets and messengers, including the last and the beloved, Muhammad, and his honorable and dignified and purified progeny. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to another episode of your program, A Closer Look into the Glorious Book, where we have been examining the life of the Prophet Sulaiman salamullahi alayhi. Solomon, a prophet that is recognized, respected, and honored by the Muslims, the Jews, and the Christians. A prophet that is mentioned in the Holy Quran, and a prophet that is mentioned in the Holy Bible and the New Testament as well. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, to give us the honor and the privilege to be one of those who follow the footsteps and the example of this great man, Sulaiman salamullahi alayhi. We come to chapter 27 of the Holy Quran, Surah An-Naml, the ant. We analyzed in the previous presentation verses 17 all the way to verse 19. And we said that Sulaiman had left Damascus, Sham, current day Syria, and he was on his way towards performing the pilgrimage, towards performing Hajj. And you know that every prophet has performed Hajj. Ibrahim came and he rebuilt the Kaaba. But the Kaaba was the very first house that existed on the face of this earth. And obviously prophets knew the area of the Kaaba. أن أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين. The very first house of worship on the face of this earth was the house of the Kaaba in Mecca. And the area that the Kaaba is on is called Becca. The city is Mecca. The surface that the Kaaba lies on is Becca. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that is the very first area that was built on the face of this earth. Therefore, Adam built the Kaaba. In the time of Ibrahim, it was destroyed, and Ibrahim and his son Ismail rebuilt the Kaaba. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the story of the rebuilt of the Kaaba by the Prophet Ibrahim and the Prophet Ismail alayhim afdalus salati wassalam. Sulaiman was leaving Damascus with his troops, the birds above them, the jinn and the ins, the jinn and the human beings, the human soldiers and the jinn soldiers walking, and Sulaiman and his entourage walking in a very respectable and majestic manner in the front of the line of the troops. And the birds would create a shade for them so that they would walk slowly with comfort all the way from Damascus and taking the south route towards Saudi Arabia, current day Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula. They went through an area that is called the Valley of Ants, a valley full of ants. And we said the discussion between Sulaiman and the ant, and how the ant spoke and Sulaiman smiled because of her statement, and we gave the explanation behind the smile of Sulaiman. But what I want to say is, look at Sulaiman, how when he sees all this kingdom and he sees what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him, all he says, Rabbi awzi'ni an ashkura ni'matak. Oh Allah, give me the honor and give me the privilege so that I am thankful towards your ni'mah, so that I become one of the shakirin towards what you have given me. Look at us, brothers and sisters. If we have been given wealth, if we have been given health, if we have been given energy, if we have been given popularity, if we have been given a position, this is from Allah. And we have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person that is given power and authority, money and wealth, and is not thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is kafir. And the kafir becomes driven. The kafir is driven out of the mercy and away from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore he becomes Harun al-Rashid. He becomes Saddam. He becomes Al-Hajjaj. He becomes a tyrant and a mass murderer and a person that has absolutely no mercy. And a person that is given the power, is given the money, is given the wealth, but is thankful towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a person that becomes similar to the Prophet Sulaiman salamullahi alayhi. We come to verse number 20. They are moving with their troops. They have exited from the valley of the ants. They're moving, they want to move. Out of a sudden, Sulaiman stopped. وَتَفَقَّدَ الطَّيْرِ. And he said, where's the bird? Where is the bird? فَقَالَ مَا لِي لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ. I don't see the peacock. I don't see the bird. I don't see the hoopy. Where is he? أَمْ كَانَ مِنَ الْغَائِبِينَ. Or has he been missing without permission? Or does he have an excuse? Did anyone excuse him? Did anyone give him permission to leave? He's not here. The story is that Sulaiman would be covered from the birds, from the sun. The birds would create a shade over him, and above his soldiers. One area was missing. Therefore the sun, and they would fly right next to each other in their position. Therefore one gap was created because the hudhud, the peacock, was missing. Therefore, when the hoopy left, that area allowed the sun to go directly on the face of Sulaiman. Sulaiman was bothered from the sun. He looked up, he saw a gap. He said, who does this gap belong to? First, in the very first area, he says, if you read, وَتَفَقَّدَ الطَّيْرِ, he just said, where's the bird that's supposed to be there? They told him that is the peacock. That is the hoopy that's supposed to be there. So when he realized that that is the hoopy and that is the bird, he then says, okay, where's the hoopy? Where's the bird? مَا لِي لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ أَمْ كَانَ مِنَ الْغَائِبِينَ. Or is he missing with or without permission? So they went on to explain to him. They told him, where is the hoopy? Where is the bird? أَمْ كَانَ مِنَ الْغَائِبِينَ. Then he said, لَأُعَذِّبَنَّهُ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا أَوْ لَأَذْبَحَنَّهُ أَوْ لَيَأْتِيَنِي بِسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. Or he would come to me with a very valid and reasonable reason why he is missing. I'll explain why Sulaiman has such a harsh statement. Just because a bird's missing, I'll explain why. But one of the very logical reasons that comes to mind is that the bird wasn't just missing. It wasn't just that Sulaiman was bothered from the sun and out of a sudden he's having a cow, he's going mad because he was bothered from the sun. No. Obviously this bird was very important for Sulaiman and his troops. And we'll explain why, and we'll explain the reason behind the statement of Sulaiman in such a harsh manner. فَمَكَثَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ. He did not have to wait long. It was a quick period. that passed by very quickly. فَمَكَثَ غَيْرْ بَعِيدٍ. They waited for a couple of seconds, couple of minutes maybe. فَقَالْ, the bird came back. As soon as he came back, he saw the face of Sulaiman, very upset. So before Sulaiman said anything to him, he told him, فَقَالْ أَحَطْتُ بِمَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ وَجِئْتُكَ مِنْ سَبَأٍ بِنَبَأٍ يَقِينٍ. I came to you with a very, very important breaking news. And I came to you from Sheba with a news that is undoubtable. I saw it with my own eyes. Look at the statement of the bird and how he's speaking to Sulaiman. If he was an ordinary soldier and a bird, he would not be able to tell Sulaiman that's in public in front of millions maybe, or thousands upon thousands, that I have news and I have knowledge that you don't have. And I am aware of something that you're not aware of. Thus, give me your ears, give me your attention, listen to me. And I have came to you with a very, very, very important piece of news that you need to listen to. And Sulaiman listened to him. Here, between parentheses, we want to say that Sulaiman was a king and a prophet. When he had his army and his troops and he was out in public, he was a king. And a king does not need to show and demonstrate the unseen knowledge. He has an entourage, he has soldiers, he has people that work for him. And bring to him the news and bring to him day-to-day aspects of life on regular basis. He does not need to use the power of the unseen in order to show it out to the public. Sulaiman was a prophet. And this is part of our belief, brothers. Give me your undivided attention. Part of our belief states that a prophet needs to have more knowledge than all the rest of the existence in his time. Why? Or else this would be an ugly act, qabih, as the philosophers indicate, from Allah to choose a person with less knowledge to lead a person with more knowledge. Meaning, I have studied up to 5th grade. The teacher comes to me and tells me, go and teach the 12th graders math. I have only studied up to 5th grade. How can I go and teach 12th graders? This would be an ugly act, an unpleasant act, an unwise act on behalf of the professor, on behalf of the teacher. Therefore, if there is a bird that knows more than Sulaiman, this would be an inappropriate act from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A bird knows more than a prophet. Therefore, here Sulaiman was acting in public as if he did not know. As if he was just a king and this was one of his soldiers, one of his officials. And because of the tone of the bird, we realize, as I mentioned earlier, that he's not a regular soldier. He's an official that comes with demand, he comes with power, he comes with authority. I have knowledge that you don't have, and he wants to explain this knowledge. Some people may say, no, that's not possible. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as well has the same exact story in the Holy Quran where he has knowledge that he does not reveal to the public. When he was marrying the daughter of Jahsh, Zainab bint Jahsh, the wife of his stepson Zayd, Rasulullah knew that one day Zayd will divorce Zainab bin Jahsh and he will marry her. But when Zayd would come to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, what should I do with my wife? Give me advice to run my family. Rasulullah would tell him, keep your wife, go back, solve your problems. And he did not reveal that knowledge. Naturally, he did not need to reveal that knowledge. Therefore, Sulaiman has the knowledge, but he is not revealing it. Wallahu a'lam, and Allah, of course, knows the best. Therefore, وَتَفَقَّدَ الطَّيْرِ فَقَالْ مَا لِي لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ أَمْ كَانَ مِنَ الْغَائِبِينَ. Verse 21, لَأُعَذِّبَنَّهُ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا أَوْ لَأَذْبَحَنَّهُ أَوْ لأذبحنه أو ليأتيني بسلطان مبين فمكث غير بعيد فقال أحطت بما لم تحط به وجئتك من سبأ بنبأ يقين, and I came to you from Sheba. They say that he was resting there, Sulaiman, after leaving the valley of the ants, and the next day when he wanted to leave, the bird had not reached there on time. He had gone to Yemen, he had gone to Sheba, and now he's returned. Before I conclude and I tell you what the bird says to Sulaiman and what news he gives him, I want to make it a point here to say that look at the justice of Sulaiman. Look at the justice of this man, that he allowed a bird to have the utmost levels of freedom, the utmost level of justice, to allow a bird or a small official in his army to stand up and speak to him in such a manner, to stand up and give him such an advice. And Sulaiman was so acceptable. Sulaiman was upset. But he was acceptable towards the statement of the bird. He was not a tyrant that said, no, I don't want to hear the bird. I don't want to hear what the bird has to say. I'm going to kill this bird. No, Sulaiman was at the utmost levels of mercy and kindness and compassion and understanding and wisdom. And he allowed the bird to tell him what he had seen. In the next episode, inshallah, we'll discuss what the peacock had brought to the chamber of Sulaiman from knowledge and what he had seen in Sheba, and what decisions did that lead Sulaiman to making. And until next time, I leave you under the protection of the Almighty Allah and under the protection and the guidance of the Holy Quran. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.